Recently, fake animation storytime channels have kind of popped off. And in this episode of YouTuber Money, we're going to be breaking down exactly how these storytime content farms work, the future of these animation channels, and of course, most importantly, how much money they bring in each and every month. Let's get into it. Hello everyone, heck, it's YouTube, my name is Progresses, and on this channel, I make videos about social media and the influencers on those platforms. So if you guys are new here and also dig this sort of content, make sure to smash subscribe. And of course, welcome to YouTuber Money, the #1 show on YouTube breaking down the money behind YouTube. Man, I gotta get a better intro. As always, these videos are standalone, but if you're curious about how YouTube ads work and or how Morgs makes millions of dollars, check out these videos right up there. That being said, without further ado, let's start breaking down where the heck these fake animation storytime channels even came from. Anonymous venting in chat rooms has been a part of a culture for a very, very long time. Even going back to the newspapers where you could write in and tell stories about your life and ask mental health experts for their opinions on what you should do in certain situations. The thing is, for the most part, these stories and questions in the forums were real and checked into before publication. But my friends, in the modern age of technology, nobody actually reads the newspaper anymore. So what's the next best thing? Video. Hence, this anonymous format took the form of Story Booth and many other channels like it. But the problem is you can only get so many real stories when they're submitted in. So, I'm sure you all know where this is going, but that honorable journalistic practice of actually checking into your stories before publication was thrown away in favor of mass clicks. And these just aren't real people submitting fake stories, as that would sometimes happen in the newspaper publications. No, the difference is that you can actually get a job writing these. They have a full-out writing staff. These amazing groups of people write these larger-than-life stories like, my dad studies at my college and everyone thinks we date, which I'm sure could actually just be resolved by, showing your birth certificate or just telling your friends that you're not actually dating. I took the phone of my mom's boyfriend by mistake, and oh my God. Just saying, if your mom's boyfriend is trying to hide something from you guys, he probably has a password on his phone. My dad reappeared into my life after many years, but he wanted my liver, not my heart. I actually watched this one, and it's kind of, it's actually really sad how badly they treat these stories for being fabricated. So basically, there's the guy, okay? He's gonna get all of his family riches and the family business if he has a son. So he marries a woman, the love of his life. They have a kid, it's a girl. They have another kid, it's another girl. No boy. The problem is the wife has a medical complication. She can no longer have kids. The husband decides to move away and abandon them because it's not a boy and he wants the family riches. So he finds a mistress and then he has a son, okay? The problem is he gets cancer, and the thing is that the son had a medical complication when he was younger and he could not actually give his liver to his father. So the father decides to go back to his family with the mom and the 2 twin daughters, and they're living very poor, very poor in the suburbs. And the thing is, so he comes over there, pretends he wants to be part of their life again, and then tries to get their liver from them. And in the moment that they start to give the liver to him, I guess, he just basically bounces again. It's confusing. It's a really complicated story, and it's like there's a small part of it that could have been plausible, but then it's just like how they got divorced, and the law favors women in divorce cases. That's just a fact. And the thing is that she should get like 50% of his money at the time. So it doesn't really make much sense to me that they'd be scraping it by, very poor. And it's like this whole thing could have happened. I don't know. I'm not gonna pretend like I know divorce laws. It just seems there's a lot of plot holes. That's basically what I'm saying. And it's not just this one. Most of the videos have gaping plot holes, but the thing is, like I said, they're just plausible enough to actually have happen. And you can just look in the comment section. Millions upon millions of people are buying these stories on a daily basis. And if you do buy it, I highly recommend Jarvis Johnson's series all about these storytime channels. It's actually kind of insane how much they're manipulating their audience. The videos that I just mentioned come from a channel titled Actually Happened, which is actually a really big part of the Soul Publishing content farm. Now, you might be like,
what the heck is the Soul Publishing content farm?
Well, my friends, it's the people behind 5-Minute Crafts, The Bright Side, and so much more. If you're curious, a content farm, according to Wikipedia, is a company that employs large numbers of freelance writers to generate large amounts of textual content, which is specifically designed to satisfy algorithms for maximal retrieval by automated search engines. Their main goal is to generate advertising revenue through attracting reader page views as first exposed in the context of social spam. We first saw what we now refer to as content farms back in the earliest days days of social media, one of the biggest and longest running ones being BuzzFeed. More recently, we have seen many different types of content farms over the years, ranging from Smosh to Hollywood Life, and of course, the 5-minute crafts of the world. There's nothing inherently wrong with these content farms, and honestly, I think for the most part, it's all quality content. But my friends, content farms haven't really gotten the best rap, especially since the whole Elsagate controversy. If you're lost, Elsagate was one of the biggest controversies of 2017, and rightly so. Content farms run under channels like Webs and Tiaras and Spider-Man Frozen Marvel Superhero Real Life were uploading family-friendly, sexually explicit content to their channels at an absurd rate, featuring the likes of Spider-Man and Elsa. These channels not only capitalize on the YouTube algorithm, but also pander to the YouTube kids audience. They SEO'd up Spider-Man and Elsa, hence ranking in billions of views in very short periods of time. The thing is, reaching for the low-hanging fruit of having kids as your main audience is definitely not a new concept. I mean, we even saw a very small scale of this with the whole Team 10 thing. The difference is, in this case scenario, these animation storytime content farms are manipulating made-up real stories for monetary gain. And talking about monetary gain, let's get into that. Weirdly enough, these storytime channels don't sell merch, have brand deals, or really promote to any kind of product. As far as I can find, they really only rely on ads. Which sounds stupid on a much smaller scale, but if you have like 10 channels all bringing in like 500 million views a month on their own, it's not that big of a deal, and the difference is kind of made up. Especially considering that the operations behind these channels are almost entirely outsourced. Anyways, in this video, we're going to be breaking down the estimated income of My Story Animated. A newcomer on the block, sure, only launching in January of this year, but they are on track to surpass 1.5 million in the upcoming weeks. According to Social Blade, My Story Animated pulls in about 89 million views a month. Holy bonkers. This channel in particular uploads one video a day to their channel, each of those videos reaching over 1 million views in the first 24 hours. Since these channels are targeting a large demographic of people, we can probably estimate that My Story Animated is reaching from anywhere from a $1 to $4 CPM. I'd say we should bet on a $3.5 CPM because a lot, and I mean a lot, of their videos surround hospital visits, and as someone who's made videos about their stroke, the CPM or cost per 1,000 monetized playbacks is it's much higher, trust me. We can probably estimate that only a third of the views are actually monetized, so we can take that 89 million, divide it by 3, and then divide that number by 1,000. That gives us 29,666,666,666,666,666. You get the idea. I think the math is trying to tell us something about these animation channels. We can then times the 29,666 payouts by the $3.5 CPM that we discussed earlier, which gives us an estimated $103,831 a month in AdSense revenue. Which, don't get me wrong, it's a crap ton. But you have to keep in mind the infrastructure behind freelancing all these videos really will add up. I'm personally no expert on these sides of things, nor do I know the inner workings of My Story Animated's business. What if we were gonna try and replicate the success of My Story Animated or actually happen with no prior knowledge of how to animate or run a YouTube channel? We could probably get the whole thing done on a per video basis on Fire for no more than $500. Making the monthly cost of daily videos around $10,000 a month, which is super reasonable but also kind of insane when you think about the fact that these companies run tens of channels, all dropping $10,000 a month. That's like hundreds of thousands of dollars a month on production costs. On the low end, after expenses and not counting taxes, if you or I were to run 3 channels with the size of My Story Animated, just 3 channels, mind you, we could be looking around $270,000 a month in income. That is insane. So, before you didn't completely understand why there's such a business behind these channels, you now do. On that same note, BuzzFeed, for instance, has 12 channels surrounding their content farm, so just imagine what they're pulling in. Of course, BuzzFeed has a much more sustainable business model as they actually employ real content creators to create content around their brand, but still. The problem is with these storytime channels, like Jarvis Johnson has broken down in his videos before, is that they rely solely on the gullibility of their audience. These stories seem just plausible enough to have actually happened, but when analyzed, there are so many gaping plot holes, it's actually crazy that people believe this stuff. They even faked Oprah's origin story. Oprah. I don't really know what the future holds for these types of channels. On one end of the spectrum, they are spreading lies, but on the other end, this is just an ethics argument, and these videos aren't actually breaking any of YouTube's TOS or directly hurting anyone. They've been on the trending page multiple times. I just hope real storytime channels like Storybooth will keep on trucking and creating content and not fall away to obscurity, because these fake content farms are gonna keep trying to reach for your attention with shocking clickbait. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the whole fake animation storytime genre and the money behind these channels. Today's comment of the day comes from Corn. Corn says this: This is a video. Thank you so much, Corn. That means the world. That was a video, and I'm really glad that you were able to see that that was a video. That really warms my heartstrings. If you want to be the next comment of the day, make sure to stroke my ego in the comments down below. Alrighty. If you guys want to join our Discord server, you guys should totally do that. It is awesome and epic. If you want to follow me on Twitch, or better yet, just subscribe to the brand new Polly Plays YouTube channel. That is awesome. We have some epic Minecraft Let's Plays over there. And if you want to support what we do over here on the channel, make sure to support me on Patreon. And my friends, I guess that is all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching this episode of YouTube Money, and please let me know who you want to see in the next episode. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.